Well, hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm Renee and I've had a few comments. I just love you guys. I've had a few comments of people that have said, oh, show us how to do this and show us the mashed potatoes, show us your deviled eggs, show us the turkey because we want to know how to make it. So I'm assuming this is for a lot of the younger generations. Generation, and I love you ladies, and I will teach you anything you want to know that I know cooking wise. We're gonna do a turkey today because I got a beautiful turkey at Meijer the other day. It's never been frozen and it was 59 cents a pound. Beautiful 14-pound turkey. So for those of you that got my cookbook, Little Homestead Pantry, this is in there. This is my mother's recipe for her turkey. The one that has been passed down from my grandmother. My grandmother cooked her turkey this way, then my mother, and I've got her recipe, but my daughter Susie is this generation that cooks it just like my mother. Wonderful. We had turkey this past Thanksgiving when we celebrated, and it tasted like my mother had made it. It was wonderful. But anyway, it is on page 134 in my Little Homestead Pantry cookbook. And it's whole roasted turkey with herb stuffing. Okay? I cheated a little bit on this, and I'll tell you why. My mother loved, she always would, and I think I got it listed in there. Yeah, Croutons, the cube stuffing. Now, she always used Pepperidge Farm too. But they have the cube stuffing. It's pretty bright. Oh, the sun is bright. Sage and onion cube stuffing. You can use the plain stuffing if you want, the cube stuffing. She never now they sell two different kinds. They sell the cube stuffing and then the crushed up stuffing like that you'd get in stovetop stuffing. Well, she always loved this kind. So I'm doing the cube. I'll do either way. I'd stuff it with stovetop stuffing because I love that stuff. But I'm going to show you the way she made it in the cookbook. All right, ladies. We got a big bunch. I've got frozen onions that I'm going to use. Already chopped up, saves me time. I have freeze-dried celery, but this I need to get used up. This was from our Thanksgiving. I need to get that used up. There's not enough to freeze-dry. So I've got my pan over here, and we're going to work over here between these two. I'm going to put a little oil here. My mother, she never sauteed her veggies. She just mixed it, cut them up, and mixed them in her stuffing right away. It still was beautiful. It still was divine. But I like to saute stuff like my grandmother always taught me because it gives it a little better depth of flavor. So that's what we're going to do. And you beautiful young ladies who are wanting to learn how to cook, you're going to put on a Christmas spread this year that the Queen would love to enjoy. Let me tell you, I will show you everything. I love teaching how to cook. And no, I never went to culinary arts. I never went to college. I am not a chef. I am a mother who grew up very poor, who had to learn how to make meals out of nothing. And I paid attention. I learned how to season stuff. I just learned. And I'm going to show you everything I can. That's why I started this channel, to show my friends how to can and some of them how to cook. And it just kind of exploded. And I do have a ball with it. So, okay, let's get this chopped up. This has already been cleaned. I didn't have to wash it because I had washed it earlier. And it's been in the fridge, and it's getting a little bit wilty, so I need to get it used up. You can put as much celery and onions in here as you want. Let me tell you what else you can do that my mother used to do. I'm not going to do it today, though. But my mom used to take the heart, the gizzards, the liver, and she'd boil it up a little bit, and she'd chop it up and she'd put that in her stuffing as well, the giblets. So I'm not gonna do that though, because not that I don't like it, I just don't want to do that this time around. All right, let's get these in here. I might need to move you up a little bit closer to me, and I think I will. Let me get these in the pan and we'll move you up closer. Okay, we got our onions and our celery going in here. And we're just going to let that saute and let that water cook out of it, okay? I might need to put some more onion in there. And that's okay. That is good. And I'm definitely going to need a little more onion in there. So I'm going to put another chunk of this frozen onion in there. Maybe I'll put both of them. I'm just going to use it all. There's a lot of, oh, I don't want to throw that out. There is a lot of stuffing. It's on the tip of my tongue, that I got to do. Okay, so I got my beautiful little bowl that Miss Elizabeth gave me. And I'm going to whip together some like DIY poultry seasoning, because I don't have any. We're going to do 1.5 teaspoons of thyme. Okay, there we go. We're going to do a teaspoon of marjoram in here. Now, if you're not, let me get this first. Nice big heaping teaspoon. I love this stuff. Okay, let me tell you something. Because mine is sage. Mine's got sage already in here. And sage is pretty pungent. I'm not going to use any sage in my DIY poultry seasoning. Otherwise, you'd want to use about 2 teaspoons of sage. Okay? And about 3/4 teaspoon of rosemary. So, there we go. And then we're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. Beautiful. Okay, and that with some pepper. Now this pepper is coarse ground. About a good teaspoon of pepper in there. Alright, now you're just going to grind this all together. You can also use a coffee grinder to grind your stuff. Won't hurt anything, but I'm using this. I like this. And if you want, you can take, because she's got extra sage in here. My mother loved this stuff. It's a little pungent for me. You could take, if you've got fresh herb, fresh sage in your garden, you can do a little bouquet of fresh sage and just throw it right in your stuffing. Be wonderful. Or chop it up real fine and throw it in there. Okay, this is coming together pretty good. See? It's all grinding up pretty good together. I just got a little more grinding to do for the rosemary. And we're going to get this all cooked down. This is going to take a minute. There we go. Turn that up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to get this all ground up, and then we'll get to mixing together our stuffing for our beautiful turkey. Oh, it smells wonderful. Okay, so this is all ground up. This turned out beautiful. You see that? So those are our spices. I've got my onions and celery. They're going good on the stove. They're sauteing up beautifully. I've got water, because we're going to need about 3 to 6 cups of water for this. I'll tell you as we go, and I'll always list the recipe. I will put this entire recipe in the description box. Okay? So with that, we're going to want 1 stick of butter or margarine, whichever you choose. And we're going to want to melt that. So we're going to put that on the back there. Put it down just to melt that. Okay, now this is the easiest way I find to stuff a turkey. And yes, I'm stuffing this turkey. You don't have to stuff the turkey. You can put your stuffing in muffin tins. You can put your stuffing in a casserole dish, whichever you choose. But me, I stuff this thing right to the hilt. Okay, so I mix and stuff the turkey right in a roaster pan. And then I got another beautiful roaster pan that I could use to cook it. But most of the time, I wind up just cooking it right in here. And the same one that I mixed and stuffed it in. Now it calls for 3 bags of stuffing. I gotta get my other one. And yes, I have leftover. And that's alright. Whatever I don't stuff in here, I always put in the muffin tins and I stuff. Okay? Let me get rid of this. Ooh, that's warm. Okay, these are good. These are sauteed. They got a little brown going on them. They're beautiful. We're going to shut this off. We're just waiting for that. We're going to take these and we're just going to scrape it right in here. The pan is a little heavy. Okay, beautiful. Our butter is almost melted. Our water's going well. We've got the stuffing. We've got the onions and the celery in here. We've got, oh, we're going to put our poultry seasoning in here. We're going to use 1 big tablespoon. What she calls for. 2 tablespoons of it. Okay, good. We're also going to do some salt in here. Nice amount of salt. It is a 14-pound bird, so our butter's all melted. And of course, we're going to put some more pepper in here because we love pepper. Okay, there's our seasonings. That's it. All right, now we are going to, we're going to put our butter in here too. You all know I lost my mother. She passed away 1.5 years ago. And I'll tell you what, when I do stuff like this, I have such fond memories of her and I cooking together. We always had a ball. Okay. So we're going to mix this all up a little bit in here. Oh, that smells divine. Okay, now for our water. We're going to do anywhere from 3 to 6 cups. So we're going to pour that right now. You can use broth. Absolutely. I'm just using water. And there's 4 cups. I'm going to reserve the other 2 for just in case, because I'll show you the trick to this. We don't want that in there. We want to get it all moistened. We're going to have to let it cool just a little bit. I'll show you what my mother always taught me. My mother was a fabulous cook, okay? So are all my aunts and even my uncles. I come from a huge German family. And my mother loved to cook. The rest of them loved to bake and cook. My grandmother loved everything. She loved to bake and cook. My mother hated to bake. She didn't like to bake, so I had to rely on my grandma and my aunts and all them that would teach me how to bake. Now, the only thing my mother liked to bake is Boston brown bread, which I could make that off the top of my head, you know. Okay, now this is hot. I've got to let this cool just a little bit because you want to ball this up. And if it falls apart, you don't have enough moisture in it. But if it balls up nice and you know, holds its shape, perfect for stuffing. And I think it's going to be perfect because it just looks like it. So let's let this cool just a little bit because that water was boiling hot. Yeah, this looks like it's going to hold its shape pretty well. See that? I don't have to add any more water. That's going to hold its shape beautifully. So, we got to let this cool down so I can stuff it in the bird. And when we're ready to stuff the turkey, I'm going to set that over there to cool down. We're ready to stuff the turkey. I've got it right here. Look at this beautiful guy. Oh, he's just gorgeous. I got him all washed up, all cleaned. I cleaned out the cavity. No, I'm not saving any of the giblets. No, thank you. But I am going to lift him up. And I'm going to salt his cavity real good. Oh. So we're going to put... I'm going to need this. There we go. That'll be good. And I always stuff his little bit of neck, so. Alright. That's good. Now this is done. We're not using that no more. Let me wash my hands. We'll use that in the end. He's all ready to go. Isn't he gorgeous? I should turn him this way so you can see him. He's beautiful. I don't tie his legs up because he's going to be crammed full of stuffing. Now when I cook him, I've got a probe in my oven and it will alert me when he reaches 165 degrees. And let me tell you, friends, if you're going to stuff your bird, you need to roast it slower. I'm going to roast him at 325 degrees. And I'll explain this to you. He's 14 pounds. So you're going to want to cook him for about 20 minutes a pound stuffed. Okay? Otherwise, it's about 15 minutes a pound. And you can roast him at 350. I'm going to roast him at 325. So I'm going to need to roast him for about 20 minutes. That's 20 minutes per pound. That is 280 minutes. Yes. And let me think. Ting, 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 ding, ding, ding. That's about a little more than 5 hours. If I'm right. Off the top of my head. So I think this is probably cool enough to start filling him up. And you know what? I may just cook him in this pan right here because this is a nice one. All right, so what we do, if my husband was here, he'd hold him up for me. We're going to get his legs up. Get your little bum up in the air there, kiddo. Oh yeah, see this is getting cool enough now. You just pack him down in there. If it's a little hot, use your spoon. Okay? Uh-oh, I got company. I'm just stuffing them in. I've got company, friends. I'll be right back and we'll finish stuffing this bad boy. Okay, we gotta finish stuffing this bird. See how that holds together nice? Beautiful. I'm gonna get some on this side. Okay. We got that side stuffed.
Do you have the string for...
Yeah, I don't tie the legs up.
Oh, they need to be tied up.
No,
the
they
juice
don't.
stays in it much better.
Oh, you're funny. It probably would, but it's not going to go far. We got to stuff that neck.
It's coming out the bum.
I know. I'll fix it. I just want to get a nice amount. It's coming out the bum. I want to get a nice amount under the neck in there. Okay. That is set. And then I fold that little piece of skin over the stuffing that I got in there. So it's beautiful. Okay. Now I don't have a whole lot of this stuffing left. So I think is what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pack it in around here. You like stuffing? We're just going to pack it right in there. And that'll be delicious.
Dinner will be at 6.
Probably.
Fresh out the oven.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So all that's there. All right, now. Get all this in here. I gotta wash my hands. Oh, okay, friends. Now that we got that stuffed, we want to put a little bit of butter down in here. So you're just gonna carefully get your fingers in there, and I got big hands, so I gotta be very careful, and separate some of the skin from the breast. See that?
Whenever you eat it that one time,
do your best not to tear a hole in it.
your body gets hungry during the day. It starts to pull fat off. And then you eat one big meal. And most of it goes to replace the fat,
There we go.
which is more than...
See how much I got down in there? Beautiful. Okay, now I've got a stick of butter here, and we're just going to take dollops of this butter and stuff it down under between the skin and the meat, and that will help keep it nice and moist on that breast. Beautiful. Just rub it around down in there. Just gorgeous. Put some on this other side. I'm going to use this whole stick of butter in here. Okay? And then some, just like my mother used to do, I'm going to rub it right on the legs and outside. And that'll be beautiful. Okay. Okay, so now that we got that done, we're going to sprinkle this with a little bit of salt. Remember, we didn't put a whole lot in here because it is a 14 pounds bird. So, and we're going to do some fresh cracked pepper on top. Beautiful.
she's doing good. Mom and Dad.
And that's all we're gonna do. Isn't that gorgeous? There's your beautiful bird ready for the oven. Okay, so now I've set that aside. Now I'm gonna do a tent. I'm just gonna fold it like so. You can see what I'm doing. Just give it a little fold. And it creates a nice cover for you. Okay, now this is ready to go in. The bird's sitting this way, my probe is on that side of the oven, so it's going to have to go right in through here. And you know what, I'm going to make a little hole in here. There, that's for my probe. All right, this is gonna go in here. 325 degrees. We're gonna put the probe in. Okay, the probe is in there. We're gonna set it at 165. Enter. Okay, right now it's 92 degrees, so it's got a long way to go. And on my oven, I love my oven. You can barely see it, and even if I turned the camera, it would be goofy looking. But I got on convection bake, and I've got my probe inserted deep into the breast. You have to get, when you stuff that turkey, that deep inside where that stuffing is has to reach 165 as well. Otherwise, you take a chance on salmonella, and you don't want salmonella. So, this way, if everything is, plus I don't use that pop-up timer. The little pop-up timer on your turkey, it's censored, and I think it's for 175 to ensure that everything is done in that turkey. So your turkey winds up being really dry. You want a nice moist turkey, use your oven probe. Or keep a close eye on it. Keep a meat thermometer inside of it so that you can keep it right at, bring it to 165 and it'll be done. And you'll have a beautiful juicy turkey. You'll see. So I'm going to go. We'll see. We'll be back here in about a little more than 5 hours. And we'll have dinner. We'll check out this turkey. Okay, friends. The turkey is doing beautiful. I checked it a little while ago, and it's doing really good. So now I'm just going to go ahead, because it's going on 4 o'clock. That turkey will be done about 5. So I'm just going to do my potatoes and get them going. And I just peeled a bunch of them up. Now, you know, you can get, these are for my little ladies that, you know, need the help. You can get the red potatoes. You don't have to skin them. All you got to do is scrub them down really good, and you can have red mashed potatoes. They're wonderful. Or you can get some of the russets, like I got here. These are homegrown, but you can get them in the store. And just peel them and chop them up so that they cook nice. See, I just cut them up in chunks like so. Look behind me. We put a Christmas tree up today, friends. My granddaughter and I put it up. I hummed and hawed about it. I thought, I'm not ready to give up my Christmas tree yet. I love my Christmas tree. So it's up and it's gorgeous. And I still got all my sweet little ornaments that my grandbabies have made me. I don't part with nothing. I almost got these cut up, and then I'll give them another good rinse. And then get them on the stove to cook. I always start these, my mashed potatoes, about an hour or so before my turkey's done. That way I got time and I'm not rushing and ramming, you know. Which I'm not today anyway, because we don't have a big dinner. We got a few people coming to have dinner with us. I didn't make any pies or nothing for today. We're just doing turkey. And what's left over, I'm going to use for lunch meat, and I'm going to freeze it. And it'll be wonderful. Even the stuffing. Your stuffing will freeze well too. And you can take and make casseroles with it and freeze those for a ready-made meal. Just thaw it out the night before and pop it in the oven and you're good to go. Alright. Oh, I got a couple of these that are a little too big maybe. Okay. I'm going to go rinse these and then get them on the stove. Okay. We're going to put them right there in that burner. We're going to put the lid on them. I will salt them, but I won't salt them until they start to boil. And then I'll turn them down, you know, and salt them. Because if you put salt in cold water in your pans, the water takes forever to boil, first off. It takes longer to boil. Secondly, and the most important, is you will pit your pans. That salt will pit your pans. So always, always wait until your food is cooking or your water's boiling to add your salt. And save your pans. All right, this is going to go, I would say, about 20, 25 minutes because I just turn it down and let it go on, you know, lower. And then when I get ready to put these together, I'll bring you back and I'll show you ladies how I do my mashed potatoes. We're going to take a look at this. This is beautiful. Look at this turkey. It's been covered all this time. Now, I'm going to baste it a little bit. And then I'm going to put it back in there because it is almost done. I'm going to put it back in there with without the cover on. Look at how beautiful that is. I got some gorgeous juice down here. Just baste it beautifully. I only do this about once through the cooking time. Now I have some beautiful gravy too. I put a little bit on my stuffing. It's gorgeous. Okay, that's all I'm going to need. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that gorgeous turkey. We're going to put it back in here. I'm going to put the probe back in it. And we'll let it finish cooking. Alright. Now I got a set for my probe, so I'm going to do options. Probe is number 3. And I want it... There we go. Beautiful. I got that all set to go. My potatoes are coming along. They're cooking. I didn't salt them yet because they're not boiling quite yet. I've got over here, you'll see, let me show you. We'll turn it right there. I guess I could go ahead and salt the potatoes. They are starting to cook. I can do that. We can give them a little salt right now. Beautiful. Okay, and I don't cook them with the lid on because it'll boil over. Now on this side, I've got some corn going. And I'm going to do like a cream corn. I'm going to do a corn side dish. It's dark in here. It's getting dark. It's only 10 after 4. But I'm going to do a corn side dish with cream cheese and a little bit of butter, salt, pepper, and some parsley. And it'll be wonderful, like a creamed corn. And it's delicious. So when that gets ready for me to put the additions into this corn, I'll bring it back and I'll show you that. And we're not doing anything more than that. That's all I'm going to do. They can have bread and butter. I just wanted to roast the turkey. Okay, friends, my corn is ready. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper in here. Beautiful. I'm going to put just a little bit of salt. Not very much because I do got salted butter. I've got 3 tablespoons of butter and 8 ounces of cream cheese that's going in there. And I'm also going to put a little handful of parsley in there. Okay? Now, I'm just going to turn this down. I'm going to put the lid on it. And I'm going to let the butter and the cheese and everything melt. And then I'll be back and I'll show you how beautiful that turns out. And our turkey's almost done. Okay, we are ready. You can't see me. We're ready to do this. I'm sorry. I'm going to put a little bit of salt in here. Potatoes like salt. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper in here because we like pepper. Okay, and I'm going to stick a whole stick of butter in here. I got a lot of potatoes. Come on. Let's not give me any trouble today. Okay. Beautiful. Also going to put a little bit of milk in there. I'm going to mix it a little bit first. And I like my potatoes whipped. So I'm going to put a little bit of milk in there. Not a ton. There we go. Let's make sure this is seasoned good. I'll take a little taste of it. Can you see the turkey in there? No, you can't see the turkey in there, but the turkey's nearly done. Needs a little more salt. Give it a little more salt and just a little more pepper. All right, let's give that a whip. Let me rinse my spoon. Perfect. All right. Now, you can put these in a fancy dish for your table. We just do buffet style on the stove. So it's going to go back on the stove with the lid on it. Beautiful. Look at that. Oh, I almost forgot. I just sprinkle a little bit of parsley on mine. Just a little bit. Just for a little color. All right, friends. We are done with this. All we got to do is wait for the turkey. This is done, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Let me turn this around here and lean it over a little bit. Look at that. Is that gorgeous? Okay, now what we're going to do, this is going to go on the table, so I got a spoon right here. I am going to spoon out this beautiful We're hungry. Let me put some of this on here, and then we'll cut some turkey up. This turkey is gorgeous, friends. I just scooped the stuffing right out of the inside, and it's beautiful. Okay, now with the rest of this, I sharpened up my knife. Gorgeous. I'm just going to start cutting the breast meat. And just look at how beautiful and juicy that is. It is beautifully done. If you overcook your turkey, that's when it gets dry. That is lovely.
Gotta make sure it works. My age. Right? You gotta keep it in shape.
Okay, now we're gonna see if we can't get this leg. Oh, somebody might want this wing. So we're gonna put that on there. Beautiful. Gorgeous, hey? No, I gotta find this. There's a little trick to this one.
Oh, I got a story for everything.
I know.
There's a leg and a thigh. We can peel the skin or the meat right off that thigh. We get a little more of this. So I think we got enough to start with. And I think that'll be gorgeous. Take a look, friends. And we got mashed potatoes and we got the creamed corn. We're good to go. That's how easy it is to put together a turkey dinner. You all have a wonderful day. I hope this helps my young ladies out there. I will see you in the next video. And again, thanks so much for watching, friends.